So here, before we start everything, I would like to present to you the presentation puzzle. So here I'm going to highlight 5 tips for a successful presentation before we go into details. The first one I would say is preparation. So preparate before you sit down and try to create a beautiful slideshow. You need to prepare yourself. You need to study. You need to find resources. You need to bring ideas in order to create a successful presentation. And most of all, you need to study. You need to be prepared because the slideshow is just a tool. But what makes the presentation is your knowledge. Another piece of the puzzle is uncomplicate. So I know sometimes we want to use lots of graphics, lots of fancy words, lots of clip arts, lots of many things. But sometimes we must think about who is watching us. Because for us, that kind of language, that kind of graphics might be simple, but for the person who is watching us, they might be a little complicated. So uncomplicate. Our lives are already too hard. So why complicate even more? No need to. Um, Another piece of the puzzle is rehearsals. Oh, Nathan, but I already know that topic. I was born talking about it. No knowledge is enough. A knowledge is never enough. So practice, practice, practice. Rehearse, because when you rehearse, you find something that you can change, you find something that you can add, and that will give you practice. And practice makes perfect. I heard that once. Another thing, nice look. It's important for your presentation to be visually appealing. It has to look nice. Or you're coming with lots of pictures, lots of mixed colors and all of this stuff, and people get lost in your presentation. So try to keep it with a nice look. Oh, but I'm not good at design, Nathan. We can find lots of templates online. So if that helps you, just look for it on PowerPoint, on Canva, on Slideshow, whatever, I forgot the name. So you can find a sorry, someone is rejoining. You can find templates to use in your own presentation. And balance, guys, why am I talking about balance? You need to have balance between all of this. So the balance is also between, you have to keep your presentation simple, clean, calm, but on the other hand, you must be energetic to catch people's attention. So your presentation is calm, but you're not. You have to be with your energy up. You have to keep up the good mood and keep the energy up. So these are just 5 rules, because if anybody has to live in the middle of the presentation, these will already give you some insights. But to start, you might be asking how to make an efficient slideshow. How can I make an efficient slideshow so people can like it, people can enjoy it? And the first one, we're going to go before we actually start the slideshow. Yes, guys, before we start doing PowerPoint and stuff, we need to prepare some things. And the first one I would like to tell you is know your material. As I told you, the slideshow is just a piece of your work, but your knowledge and how you communicate your knowledge are the keys. And if you want to communicate clearly, if you want to communicate successfully, you need to know what you're talking about. Don't make like just a quick reading about the topic. Study, find examples, find ideas to bring to your class. So know your material, because that way you would think about the narrative you're going to use, the why of your presentation, and in what order you will present the contents. How is your storytelling going to be? Will people understand what I have in mind? Or I have something like, what's the name of that TV show? Dark. Dark is so confusing. So you don't want to make a presentation like this. You want to make a presentation like Stranger Things. It's nice to watch. I love it. Second one, guys, make a script. It sounds too obvious, but yeah, make a script, have in mind what you're going to talk, because sometimes we have lots of ideas. Oh, I want to talk about this. I want to use this picture, this video. I think this song is going to be amazing. But make a script, because sometimes the way your ideas are in your mind are not clear to the way people are going to see. So will people understand what I'm going to, the ideas that I have in my mind? So organize your ideas and get them in order before you start the slideshow. Okay, and just to activate this sound, it's annoying. All right, so make a script is important to start your presentation. What am I going to talk about? These, that, and those. Second, the third one, highlight what's most important. I know it also sounds obvious, but sometimes we think that everything is important. Yeah, it might be important, but try to use keywords. Try to use topics, small sentences that will help you follow and express the main information. So highlight what's most important. Do not insert content into your slide without extreme relevance. So you don't have to talk about how he was born, what he has suffered in his childhood, but talk about the facts, talk about what is important. People want to know, no, especially nowadays, people are very concise. So people want to, they like fast information. So you have to balance using what's important with passing a clear information with context, right? Fourth one, which is I'm always talking about for those who saw me in the last class, get to know your audience. If you're going to make a presentation for a group of doctors, it's not going to be the same presentation for a group of young entrepreneurs or children or teenagers. So you need to know who you're going to talk to, because that way you can know their needs, you can know their desires, their fears, you can know the proper jokes to make. So even being funny with your presentation, you need to know who you're talking to. Can I make this joke? No, I think that joke's not going to be funny, but this joke, they will love it. So we need to go our audience. And one more thing that I would like to add while knowing your audience is the obvious. Guys, come with me here. Pay attention. The obvious is not always obvious. For example, for you, you know that this is a person talking online. It's clear because you have the experience, you have the background. So for you, it's obvious. It's a person talking online with a friend. But for someone who might be in your audience, they might not understand what this picture is about. What is that? So try to use synonyms for your presentation. Try to give as many examples as you can, because that way you will make sure that the information is being delivered properly so that people are understanding what you're saying. So you might think that's obvious, but for some people that may not be too obvious. So be careful with that. Be careful with that. 5, and last one for the preparing your presentation, testing is essential, guys. So practice, 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 and then practice more, because that way you know the pace of your presentation. You will figure if you're speaking too fast, if you're speaking too slow, what points you want to emphasize, what's important, how you control the tone of your voice, if it's louder, if it's lower, if now I have to look at the camera, to look at the people. You will figure all that out if you rehearse, if you test your own presentation. I will talk further about it later on. So far, so good. So far, so good. This is our only tips for you before you start your presentation. And now we are heading to some tips for a good design. Teacher, sorry, I'm using to say this to my students. But Nathan, I'm not really good at design. I know nothing about it. That's okay. You're going to look through some tips right now. And these tips are going to be helpful for you, but also going to clear your mind about what to look for. Because even the templates you're going to find, you can see if they fit those 5 tips that I have for you now. First one, guys, I want you to read. Can you guys read for me? Turn on your microphone. I want everybody to say this. Turn on your mics right now and read out loud. Out loud. Number 1.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Simple.
Keep it simple, guys. The star of your presentation is you. So keep it simple. There is a saying that less is more. Less is more efficient. So if you do not add a lot of information, a lot of picture, a lot of kind of fonts, I will give you a short example about a presentation that it's not simple at all. It's too much, like a slave. So let me ask you your opinion on this, and you can write in the chat. Is it easy to understand this presentation here? 100 reasons to watch Doctor Strange today. Guys, have a moment. Your eyes are lost. Like, what should I look first? Where should I see? Where should I look at? What should I read? What's saying that? Why do you have Nazaré Tedesco here on the corner? Doctor Strange, he doesn't have the time jewel anymore. Anyway, a lot of information in your audience gets lost. What should I see? Where should I look? I know I love this design, but in a presentation, it's not efficient. Maybe if you take off if you change the font, if you change the font, if you change the Meteoro da Paixão, if you take off the stars, the crashing cars, there's a lot of information, but it's not useful for your person. So remember, guys, keep it simple. Less is more. Limit the words on your slides. Sometimes we have a lot of information to give, blah, 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 but limit the words. So you can insert short phrase, topics, or keywords. It's important. Now, listen to me, guys. When people are watching your presentation, they are there to listen to you. They are not there to read an article. They are not there to read a book. They are there to listen to your insights, to your ideas. So limit the words, use the topics, use the keywords. I know that you guys have their keywords. So keywords will help you guide your presentation, will help you not get lost on your words, but we will also help the audience to keep up with you, to follow up what you're saying. Sometimes we tend to lose our attention, but when you come back, if you have something to read, but not much, you get back to where you were, okay? So limit the words. Let's take a look at an example that is confusing to understand. Is William Shakespeare related to Britney Spears? I'll leave you with this question. So here we have a lot of tags, a lot of things to read, and blah, blah, blah. So by the time you're reading this, people will be like, oh, hi, hello, oh, sorry. People will be sleeping. They will lose their attention on you because there's a lot of information. And guys, this is from Wikipedia. Please be careful while you're using Wikipedia. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. So for your answer, yes, Britney Spears is cousin with William Shakespeare. Just kidding. She's not. But who knows? So be careful, guys. Do not put a whole biography on your presentation. People don't want to read it. They simply just don't want to read it. They want to listen to you. They want to see how much you know about something. Third one, using quality photos and graphics. People are more likely to take you seriously if you have nice pictures on your presentation, if it's visually appealing. So let's imagine you have a whole presentation with pictures like this. People will think like, well, from where did it take it? From the trash, from deep web? You don't want to make your presentations look like a deep web presentation, right? I'm sure you don't want to. So mind the quality of your pictures, the graphics you're going to use. So it's important because people like to see what's visually appealing for them, what's a good looking thing. Nobody likes to see, pictures like that. All right. So try to use high quality. You can find on Google, you can find on Canva, but mind this, guys. Be careful with the quality of your pictures. Nathan, but it's too hard to find a nice picture about this topic. Google it, find it, ask for your friends, find it. Choose appropriate fonts, guys. This is important. Sometimes we try to use, wow, this is going to be, impactful. So I think everybody already uses something like this in your homework activity from school, like our work presentation from school. In Portuguese, it says everybody has already had a cover from a homework like this. So it's beautiful. Yeah, it can be beautiful, but maybe for other contexts, but not for your presentation. So try this. Try this. It's simple. It's modern. It's professional. It's professional. And avoid this. Too much information. It doesn't make you sound like a professional. It doesn't make you sound like a serious person. Sometimes you can be that funny. You can go through that way of being more comic, but try to avoid this because most of the time you're not going to be useful, especially if you're presenting a pitch deck to get funds for your project, to get resources for your NGO or whatever. Try to avoid this kind of fonts. Make sure, because they send a message to the people who are watching you, and this message says that you are, am I watching a 11-year-old presentation, or am I watching someone who does a serious work, who knows about the topic? Another thing that I would like to tell you, choose a good color palette. So try what color should I use? Maybe you have a color that you identify with, or maybe there's a color that is really related to the topic, to the service, to your product. So try to find palette of colors online. You can find lots of color palettes. So if you have questions about what colors to use, what colors match, just Google online. You can find them online and they will help you. But colors also play a very important role while passing a message. Let me give you an example of what not to use. Try not to use colors like this or dark colors in dark backgrounds. Your audience will be like this. Okay, what is written there? When you use colors, dark colors and light colors, it might be confused, especially white and black. People tend not to be able to read it, or even dark colors and dark backgrounds. I think that's kind of obvious, but as I told you, the obvious is not always obvious. So don't use this. Or even light colors in light backgrounds. My professors from university, I think they never study about presentation because they always have like a light background with a light font, light letter, right? I think you guys have already experienced that from your professors, from your teachers. They forget this. So please don't do this, guys. Try to use colors that, highlight in one another. For example, I'm using light background, but I'm using black, I'm using purple. Let me just read what you guys are saying on the chat so we can come up with. Thank you, Babi. It's important to think about copyrights. The image is not yours. I don't have permission to use it. Dawn. It's fun to say that while on Google, you can find free pictures to use in your presentation. So when you Google, you can find tools and you can select, universal or free pictures. And then all the results will be related to pictures that you have permission to use. So even on Google, you can already find those kind of pictures. If you have Canva Pro, you will be able to use all of those pictures there because you have the rights to use all the pictures and good pictures. So try use this, not that. Also, like just to close this slide presentation tips, make sure your slides are aligned. So mind the sidelines. Did you know that every design has a sideline here like this? So try to keep all the information you have inside the sidelines and organize the elements. So because let's think about it. If you do something like this, oh, I like to fit in the corner. I like my pictures more like, dropped and fluctuating. But if you do something like this, maybe the person who is watching a presentation will not be able to organize their own ideas. Like, where should I start? What should I look first? Or even, let's imagine you're doing a presentation in a school or in a whatever, and you have a projector, that thing that throws your slide. Let's imagine if it's not adjusted, and then it can cut information from your presentation. You can cut, because if it's like this and it's zoomed, if there's so much zoom, you will lose parts of a presentation. So make sure everything you're going to talk about is inside the sidelines. Mind it, it's very important. And also organize the elements. Nobody wants to watch a multiverse, with lots of fluctuating pictures and stuff. People like to see things visually appealing. Okay. And this we finish design tips. And now we are about to finish, which we're going to take essential actions to take on the great presentation day. On the day you start your presentation, I want to give you a few tips. The first one is rehearse at home with your family and friends. If you have a boyfriend, if you have siblings, husband, rehearse with them. Last night I was rehearsing with my boyfriend, with Kelvin. I said the name. He was helping me and give me some insights. So practice. And also, let me give you something. Practice with different audience. Because if you choose, for example, your mother to make a presentation and your mother doesn't understand, nobody else will. So you have to make a presentation that someone like who doesn't have any knowledge about that will understand. So if they do understand, then you have a successful presentation, because the point of doing a presentation is to communicate, is to pass an idea, is to inform people, is to raise awareness, is to deliver an idea, is to sell something. So if you rehearse and then people say, wow, I understood what you meant, and then you are the right pathway. Record your practice and watch it. Oh my gosh, but I'm so shy. I don't want to record myself. I'm sure it's going to help you. And when you record yourself, you can manage the time. You can give yourself feedbacks. But guys, don't be hard on you, okay? It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be like the best presentation ever at first time. Rehearse. So don't be hard on yourself, okay? When you record yourself and watch it, you will ask yourself, are your breaks too short or too long? Are you talking slow enough or too slow or too fast? When you're nervous, your voice gets too loud. It's important to something that we have to be aware of is that when you're talking, you have to change the volume of your voice when you want to emphasize something. Imagine it like, let's make a practical activity right now. Imagine yourselves, if I were speaking like this. So guys, today we're going to start to talk about how to make a successful presentation. And are your breaks too short or too long? Are you talking slow enough? If I'm speaking like this, by the end of my presentation, people will be like, oh, sorry, hello, oh, hi. So you have to change your tone, your voice tone in order to engage people, in order to transmit your feelings, because your ideas are clear for you here, but they are not always clear for those who are hearing. So is it more dramatic? Is it more funny? Is it more sad? Should I speak slow now? Should I speak low now because what I'm saying is something important? Or should I speak louder so people can get excited as well as I am? All right. The third one, choose 3 focal points in the room. Sometimes we try to, when we are presenting, whether online or in a presential space, we tend to look at one thing, maybe the most beautiful person in the audience, like you're flirting and you look at one person. You are my safe space. I want to look at you. But if you look at one place at once, do you know what might happen? People who are watching you, they will tend to think, oh my gosh, what is he looking at? What is he looking at? He doesn't stop looking at that point. So who is there? Oh my gosh, I want to see too. So they will lose their attention because they will be wondering, what the are you looking at? What the heck are you looking at? So try to choose 3 focal points: left, center, right. So while online, you can look at the screen, you can look back, you can look at people, you can call out for names. For example, right, Babi? You can call names so people will know that you are looking at everybody. Right, Mirna? Do you agree, Mirna? So try to involve people and let them know that they are there. While you look at your audience. Don't be imagining yourself like now. If I would be like this. So guys, today we'll be presenting about the presentation skills, right? I'm now looking at you. So would it be successful if I would be looking somewhere else while presenting? No, I have to talk to my audience. So do not look at the most beautiful person in the audience. Looking to everybody. Try to divide your attention. Everybody wants to be noticed. So look at everybody, even the ugly ones. I don't know, maybe. Okay, get out. Nathan, oh my gosh, I gave you a spoiler. But Nathan, what if I get nervous? Guys, remember to breathe. When we are nervous, we tend to stop breathing, speaking too fast, but consciously remember to breathe. And this exercise you can do before and during your presentation. Another thing, break the ice, make a joke, make people feel at ease with you. So try to bring something, something with humor to your presentation, to make a joke with somebody or make a joke with yourself. That will break the ice as well and keep the good mood. Don't let people know that you're nervous. Keep smiling, keep making jokes, keep your good mood, keep your energy up. And last one, be honest. Sorry. Let people know that you're nervous. Let people know that, let people know I'm nervous. No, I'm just kidding. Let people know that you're nervous. Let people know that you're not feeling, well at that time, but keep on working, keep on doing the good work, okay? And the last tip, now we will close our class. And the last tip I have to you is fake it until you make it. Nathan, but I'm very nervous. No, let people know. Act confident, because if you act confident, naturally you will feel more confident. You will feel more comfortable. So keep up the energy up. If I want to imagine myself as the king, so I will fake it until I make it, until I become the king. If I want to just to act confident, I will start acting confident and then let people know. And naturally, really, this works very much. Naturally, you will feel more confident. Once my friend, I have a friend, I don't know if you know her. Her name is Rihanna. She's a close friend of mine. And there's an interview of her. She says, somebody asked her, what do you do in those days that you don't feel confident? And she says, I pretend. So if you're not feeling confident, just pretend you are. And naturally, that the nervousness will go away and you will, be prepared for your presentation and will be the best of all. With that, I thank you so much for being here. I hope I was concise because I was talking about being concise, so I hope I was. And if you'd like to connect with me, my Instagram is Nathan Simoes and my LinkedIn. I don't know how to use the LinkedIn link or whatever, but it's Nathan Carvalho Simoes. You can screenshot there and you can connect with me in those social medias. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much. We are now open for questions.